Take a little jaunt here on the forestry road. This is fog, actually. It does remind me of the fire just 3 short months ago. Here's my 20th load of scrap metal to Gabe's. You can see where there's a hard burn. The Forestry Service is contracted to log all the dead trees, and where this was a crowning fire, I call it the hard burn, probably 200-foot high flames. There's pretty much nothing. And here's where I call the softer burns, where there wasn't as intense heat. And I've never seen, my 15 years here, bracken ferns this time of year. They usually go away by summer. They come out in the spring, they hibernate, and come April, they're back again. But here it is November, 12th or 13th? And you see whole hillsides, man. The bracken ferns are kicking ass. And if anybody happens to know how it is that bracken ferns, or why actually, bracken ferns are able to completely change their cycle after a fire, whether was the physical heat or a chemical process, or the fact that they're getting more light and don't have any competition. You see, every once in a while there's a sword fern, but man, it's the bracken ferns that are the heroes. Look at that guy. There's money. Money! They're kind of leaving a mess. Here's their log deck from logging the timber, and you can see, as long as it's on the ground, even the bark has the orange fungus. You can see little tiny dots on the wood. Looks like somebody dropped paint. Just recently, the mosses have made their comeback. They're always the most beautiful greens that they make. With all of the heavy equipment, big heavy equipment, the roads are messy, and they're still not very accessible. Still, it was easier to get here when the place was on fire than it is today. You'll see at the end or the beginning of Little Jones Creek Road, it's closed. It makes no sense to be closed other than to protect their money operation. But they're allowing me to obtain individual exemptions for people to come visit, and it works well enough. Maybe somebody knows this answer. What bird is this? Never have I seen one of these here in my 15 years. Last week, it just perched right above my cabin. I'm thinking a crane or a heron. Let me know in the comments if you know this bird. I'm taking it as a very positive omen. And if there's a biologist out there that also might know, is this a foxhole? It's been here for years, and I've just always wondered. Here's progress on our community kitchen. It has come a long way from this. And I can tell you, boy, you never appreciate running water or a dry roof over your head, a warm stove this time of year. I mean, appreciate, celebrate We did little dances the moment we got our water system back up. Anyways, we've built these bookshelves symbolically from some of our dead trees. John came out and milled them up, and we made bookshelves. It's our project this month. We're asking for help with. We used to have such a lovely library. So many people had contributed to it. If you have a favorite book on sustainable living or otherwise that you'd like to share with us, we would love to see our shelves be all filled up with knowledge again. Here's the inside. We even have a few books. Yes. It's really all pieced together. So much of it came from the dark recesses of people's garage or their backyard. We use scrap plywood for some of the walls. Allow me to take a few moments to thank the wonderful, generous people that made this possible. Tachi's bunk bed. We didn't have a place for bunk beds, but the finished wood, it went really it was great behind the bookshelves. We dug up, cleaned up tile from the rubble. Excellent metaphor, huh? Do you know what it is? So thank you, Joan, for this wonderful Scandinavian stove. It works great. It's so unique, isn't it? A different Joan for the laminate flooring, Sandy for the floor tile, Melissa for all this beautiful cabinetry. She was thinking of taking it to the landfill. Evelyn for her spare refrigerator. John again for milling these beams. Thank you, Gabe, for the stove, the sink, and the windows. And Pat for the sofa and the kitchen table. I wanted to tell Nick, who helped me engineer our new water system, that we actually engineered it too well, and the water flow is so great that the pond overflows, and now we need new engineering to solve the problem of our overflowing pond. The Aquarius house is put back together. We got all these food experiments drying and starts. We're going to take over the planet. Grapes are hibernating. And our fennel. Boy, the fennel is strong. There's so much. I really enjoy our wild fennel here. In eggs, especially. Developing our gardens are doing great because of our garden manager, Akaria. Dun, 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 dun. All right, say hi, Dylan.
Hello. Me and 33 chickens.
Yes.
From the village.
And Boo, we couldn't get goats. We don't really have the housing for them, and we don't have the forage. Hay is way too expensive. Boo is in love with all of our chickens. She pines away and dreams of being with the chickens. So we doubled down on chickens. Yeah, like Devin said, we have 33 of them. And you can see the tree and the pasture really came back, and our two pastures are actually really came back strong. Also soft burns, and lots of chickens and lots of eggs. Hey, I also wanted to say, don't be so solemn. I see people at the grocery store and they say, oh, Dan, you had the fire, are you okay? And while I deeply appreciate the heartfelt sentiments, and as I've said before, I've never felt so supported in my entire life. It's really wonderful how our larger community has come together to make this happen. But you don't have to be sad for us, and we're doing great. We've made, I mean, some of the best people have come out of the woodwork and have been great friends. So we have so much to be thankful for, and it's close to Thanksgiving.